morning, welcome back. I am in the car, as you know, and as you know, because I do this every morning, right? And I thought I would put up a really quick video for you guys about a food choice that I had a discussion with the other day with a coworker, and they were commenting to me that apparently I'm looking pretty good as far as my weight is concerned, and I've been having a pretty good go at it the last month or two, so I'm kind of happy about everything that's going on as far as my body's concerned and everything. And sorry for the glare, by the way. So I was mentioning to them really quickly, because they asked me, what are you doing? What are you eating? How are you maintaining your weight? What's your secret, basically? And I told them something very, I guess, simplistic, and they had never heard of this, but I thought I would pass it on for you guys. And that is, do not eat white. Okay, it's a very simple rule. And you can keep it in your mind. It's nothing you have to, measure and this and that and the other thing or prepare. But basically, white means processed flour, processed sugar, white rice. So very simplistic, simple carbs. Simple carbs, for want of a better word, are like simple sugars, and simple sugars get into your body very quickly and do absolutely nothing except push up your blood sugar and put weight on you. Put the calories right into your body. They do nothing as far as balancing out your blood sugars or doing anything basically healthy for you. So the quickest way to gain weight, obviously, is simple sugars. Now, I'm not even talking about, candy and, we're talking, that's obvious. That's, that is, you don't even want to question that, okay? So, obviously no cakes and no candy and no, cookies and sugary drinks and things like that. But I'm talking about anything that contains a white nature to it, which would be white flour. So instead of white flour, whole wheat obviously is good. Things with a much more complex type of flour, almond flour, other types, I can't remember offhand, but things like oatmeal is fine, almond flour is fine. There are various flours now on the grocery shelves that you can use in lieu of white processed flour, white enriched flour, the self-rising one. And the other thing is white rice. So very highly processed rice. I'm not talking about the long grain. I'm not talking about wild rice. I'm not talking about brown rice that you cook, for 20-30 minutes. I'm talking about, the basically like the Uncle Ben's that I don't even know what that thing is, honestly. It's like dehydrated rice. It's rice you add water to, you boil it for a few minutes, and it puffs up, and people eat that, and it's just like, ugh. Now, the starchy rice, the rice that you would make, for example, like jasmine rice, basmati, all of those rices are slow cook rice. They're long process, very healthy for you, and contain the starch and everything, which, that's not bad for you, honestly. The stickiness, it's the over-processed rice that I'm talking about, the one that comes in a box, or the one that you just microwave in a pouch, stick it in a microwave for a few seconds, and call it rice. It's certainly not rice. Not rice in my book, anyway. The other thing, let's see, so sugar. So, of course, obviously, white processed sugar, the kind you rip open in a packet. Domino's is one of them. Put it in your coffee, or use it in your baking or anything like that. The plain cups of white sugar do absolutely nothing for your body. In fact, I think that half the reason people's skin is breaking out and blotchy and has rashes and has all kinds of, in my opinion, allergic reactions is from highly processed sugars. And that's one thing that you have to stay away from. That's just absolute poison for your skin, poison for your body. There's absolutely no redeeming quality to white sugar. So what should you use? If you have to use sugar of any nature, then the brown raw cane sugar, at least it's less processed. Now it's still simple sugars, so you know it's going to go in your body no matter what, and it's going to go right into your bloodstream, and you know it'll raise your blood sugar, and that's it. I like to use Truvia or Stevia as an alternative to a sweetener. That's just my preference. My actual #1 preference that I ask for all the time is honey. So if I'm out and about, if I'm having a cup of tea, even if I'm having coffee, anything like that, I will ask for honey. Wherever I can get away with it as a sweetener, I'm going to ask for honey. That's just me. It's got a boatload of health benefits. It's got the B vitamins. It's got the natural, you know, if it's unfiltered and raw, it'll have some components of bee pollen in it, which is astronomically amazing for your, you know, for your health and everything like that. Let's see, what else? So that takes care of sweeteners, I believe. All right, we got through the flours, we got through the sweeteners, we got through the rice. Pasta, of course, again, what is it made out of? It's made out of mostly, you know, white flour. If you can get whole wheat pasta or veggie pasta, anything that is, you know, a much more complex carbohydrate for your pasta, that's preferable. So you can still have your carbohydrates, you can still have your pasta dish, you can still have your breads, of course, your multigrain breads, your whole wheat breads. You can still have, you know, whatever crackers or of course rice, because of the long grain issue. You still can have your carbs. I'm not saying to turn your carbs totally off. What I'm saying is go ahead and say no to anything that is white and overly processed and turns into a simple carb that goes right into your body, stores as fat. Basically anything you don't burn off right away stores as a fat component. So the easiest way to get chunky monkey is to do your simple carbs, okay? Let's see, for drinks, I would stay obviously away from any kind of processed drinks like Cokes and Pepsis and you know, beverages like that, sodas. I do not do sodas. That's another thing I don't do. I'll do sparkling water. I'll do Dasani, of course. You hear me mention that all the time. Let me pull this up a little bit for you guys. There you go. What else do I do? Of course, water. I don't really like water that has those drops in it. I've tried them. I don't know. I'm not sold on those drops. You know, if you have to get the water in you, and that's the only way you can do it, it's put those enhancement flavor drops in it, go ahead. You know, it's not going to hurt you or anything. I just don't know the process component of it. I don't think it's very natural, so I don't know what's in it, but I'm sure it's not that great for you. But if you want to do it, that's fine. I do teas, both hot and cold teas, so that is something, you know, that you can look into. And I do some fruit juices, although I do water that down because fruit juices, again, are a simple carb, and too much, you know, is not that great for you. It's not that healthy. I know a lot of people go, well, fruit juice is so much better than, you know, soda or anything. Yeah, little bit better, not a lot better. It's still a simple carb, and it gets into your bloodstream very quickly. My son uses it actually for his diabetic lows. So first thing we do is give him fruit juice, and he needs it at that time. He does need it, but I'll tell you, it brings up your blood sugar like this. I mean, it's quick reacting. Let's see, what else do I drink? Stay away from alcohol. Alcohol is another very simple sugar. It's, again, I mean, you know, you can have your glass of wine, you can have your beer every now and then, but it's basically going to blow you up. Seriously, it's just going to blow you up. So if you can avoid it, you know, stay away from it. And I've gotten, I think, a lot more conscientious about my foods and my beverages, because I see the results immediately, and especially on camera. And I know that that is kind of a, I don't know, maybe narcissistic thing. I don't know, but I can see if I have not had a good meal or a healthy meal, or I have not, my drinks have been not suitable, let's just say, I can see it right away in my face. I really can. I can see it in my under eye area. It's way too puffy. I can see it in my cheekbones. They're, you know, my face is puffier. It just retains something about these type of drinks and food choices. It just retains the water in your body. It doesn't flush out the toxins, and you know, your face is going to look nasty. It really is. Your skin is not going to be pretty. It's not going to be clear, and it's going to be blotchy. And of course, you know, it's your choice. You can put on full coverage makeup, and you can certainly hide a lot of imperfections on your face. Who hasn't done that? Everybody's done that. But our goal, at least, you know, my goal and this channel's goal for you guys, is to make you as healthy as possible, get your healthy choices in, and therefore you are gonna, you know, you're not gonna need to have full coverage foundation and full makeup on your skin at all times to camouflage your skin, to hide it, and you know, make it good looking. You know, our goal is to get your intake of nutrition and your choices of food optimally up, so that your body can naturally clear itself up of, you know, allergens and toxins and things like that, which will reflect in your face. And it's going to reflect in the puffiness of your face. It's going to reflect in your pores. It's going to reflect in your skin texture. You know, cosmetics are one of the most overrated things, honestly, because you know, they come with all these brandings of, oh, this is going to make you look gorgeous, and this is going to make you look 10 years younger, and this is going to give you gorgeous skin, and this is going to cover all your flaws, all this baloney that they put. And you know, people fall into that trap. They're like, oh, if I only buy this $40 cream, or if I only, you know, buy this sorry, my throat is still kind of shaky with the cold. If I only buy this $50, you know, makeup and blah blah blah, and contouring and all this other stuff, I will, you know, look so much better, and I'll be gorgeous and all of this. And you know, it only goes so far. It really does. I mean, nothing is going to take the place of good food in your system, and water to flush out the toxins, and a good night's sleep. That's another thing. As far as beauty, you cannot possibly have gorgeous skin if you are out all night, if you are you know, partying, drinking alcohol, and dehydrating your skin and staying up all night and then catching only 3 or 4 hours of sleep. There's something to be said about beauty rest. You know, there is something to be said about beauty sleep. And my mother knew about this, my grandmother knew about this. I think European women take this component very seriously. And there's something to be said where a lot of Europeans take their afternoon siesta, okay? And they literally, in these European countries, Spain, Italy, when I was in Italy, all of these European countries, they are very serious about taking their naps. And I always thought that was strange, you know, like the city would completely shut down. Stores would close. People would go home and have their lunch and then go take a snooze. And then they would go back to work later on. They'd work later hours, but they would have a 2 or 3 hour break, basically, between their morning shift and their late afternoon shift as far as working. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, that is crazy. But they're relaxed. In my opinion, they're less anxiety-ridden than our go-go-go environment. And, you know, these women, I remember being a young girl and being in Europe with my mother and traveling around, and I saw these women, especially from Hungary and Turkey and France, Spain, all of these countries. They just had beautiful glowing skin, and I couldn't say that it was any one serum or any one component that they did. A lot of them, you know, they drank espresso. Some of them smoked even. It wasn't like they didn't smoke. But there was something about their skin that was just absolutely gorgeous and alluring. And I really put down one of the choices that they made is to take their naps. They were very, very serious about their afternoon naps. And, you know, that's one thing that we don't have here in the United States. And I don't think we're ever going to do it because it's just not in our culture to stop everything midstream and then, you know, go home and, you know, bake or cook or whatever and take our naps. It's just not done. Anyway, guys, I'm going to, you know, stop the video. I've blabbed enough. I'm almost at work now. I hope you enjoyed this little segment going to work with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you can, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love to have you, you know, be a subscriber to my channel. I put up a lot of health videos and beauty videos and things of that, so I hope you're going to find more enjoyable videos to watch on my channel. I want you to have a wonderful day and a blessed day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye-bye.